This episode is powered by Anivia Pickleball. Based in the heart of Vancouver, BC, whether you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, they have the paddle for you. I myself am currently using their Voltex Gen 3 Pro, which comes in both mid and lightweight. A big thank you for the team at Anivia for taking a chance on me in this podcast. And for listeners of the podcast, if you enter AGorman15 at checkout, you get 15% off. Check out Anivia.com now. That's AGORMAN 15 at checkout. On with the show. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's been a couple of weeks, and there's been quite a few tournaments. Victor's traveled a bunch and refed a bunch. I've played a little bit. How's it going, Vic?
Good. How's everyone doing? Yeah, it has been a couple of good weeks, I guess. Reffing.
Well, yeah, you got that white shirt now. You might as well use it, right? So
yeah, did you see the website on Pickleball Canada they put on there?
I did. Yes, that looked awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that they did something like that, but yeah, here we go. I got the
yeah.
right
I forgot to screenshot and send it to you, but I was like, no, he's probably seen that already. But
and then I now have the real badge. I used to have still that level 2 badge. Now I have a certified badge.
Oh, right on. Perfect.
There we go.
All right, so we'll jump right into it. We had some local stuff. So I guess here we'll do the Red Deer Open first because that was last weekend, and you refed. I played. We'll start with you, Vic. How did the reffing go?
Yeah, I just ref Saturday and Sunday because of work. That obviously Red Deer Open started about Thursday, if not mistaken. So but I just couldn't take those days off from work, so only Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday was the mix, and Sunday all the singles. But, well, what was fun. Obviously, call a bunch of foot faults because it's mix. For sure, you gotta have foot faults, right? A lot of them. Other than that, we're a little short of referee, unfortunately, because first of all, it was like kind of back-to-back tournaments. That there was a lot of tournaments going over, and people was either have to travel, either was planning to go to the national, either they starting to get tired. So I think we have only 18 referee. That's the reason why we're not able to use like the full 20 courts that was in Red Deer, because otherwise, if we're trying to run 20 courts, there won't always be like one or two matches that will be ref, that does not make sense. So that's the reason why they kind of cut it down to that proportion. We still able to finish pretty right on time, 6:30, so which is reasonable. I will say that that's a good thing. Singles, we thought maybe on Sunday that would finish earlier. Now last match was like 7 o'clock. I did the second last match of the day at 6:30. So anyway, so it did not work out.
Yeah. Well, no.
Probably
another reason probably why you guys had trouble was with the women's stuff being on Thursday. Like,
that's true.
I can say, well, that may be for refs, but I can say that's definitely for some of the players. There was lots of regular tournament goers who did not compete in the women's category because it was on Thursday and they couldn't get the time off.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. They should usually put like the singles on Thursday, maybe, like, and then move like the genders doubles on Friday or at least Fridays, Saturday, right? Because that's usually technically their moneymaker, and technically people that can sneak the Friday off or something like that. I don't know why they just make it this way on Thursday instead. And anyway, like I know I'm not saying that not a lot of people play single, but usually there's less people playing singles than doubles anyway.
Yeah, and when you put the singles at the end, some people pull out. Like I know there was a lot of people when I left Saturday, because me, well, and just for that reason, me and Irene didn't play singles because we couldn't get enough time off. With my job being on call, I could only get 3 days off in a row. So I was like, okay, well, Irene's playing women's, so I need that day off because we have to drive down. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm playing Friday with the men's, and then we're playing mixed. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just cut out the singles this year. But it was weird. I don't know why they didn't follow kind of what they did at provincials, where they had all the senior stuff go on Thursday, like all the retirees, like. Because I know at provincials they did like the 60 plus categories, or like even some of the. I don't think they did 55, but I know they did 60 plus.
Yeah, they did the 60 plus.
Right now, so it's like because all those people are retired, or at least majority of them are retired. So it's like you don't have to worry about work, and then because it's only a couple categories, you can do men's and women's, and you don't. For the few refs who can make it out for that, you'll probably have enough refs to do that. And then if you have everything else, because most tournaments, for those of you who maybe don't go to tournaments all the times, normally they do either men's or women's doubles on the Friday with the opposite gender singles, right? And then they do the mix on the Saturday, and then they do the reverse of whatever Friday was. So if it was women's doubles and men's singles on Friday, it would be men's doubles and women's singles on the Sunday, right? So then it's a 3-day thing. It's only Friday you need to book off if you're planning on participating in everything, right? So. And I know that Red Deer gets a lot of people, but like there was like if we want to just call out some people who are from like the Edmonton area, like Sarah and Jody didn't compete in the women's.
Nope.
That's regular. Now the Gips didn't come at all, but normally like Shauna would come down and compete.
Well, they're still in Vancouver. I know. We actually.
Oh, the Gips. Okay.
We'll talk about the Western Regional because we continue on our trip to Vancouver, and then we play a little bit in Vancouver together. They just continue all the way to Seattle, so they're not back yet.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like for example, I know like Sarah and Jody didn't, and Jody played with Nate on the
mix
on the mixed event, right? So it was weird because it didn't like there was still really really good players there, but I think for especially I want to say for like the 4-0 and 3-5 women's, it was watered down.
Be more, yeah, that could be more.
Yeah, and
even men's could be more. Like there is good quality players, but that could be even more if like they're able to push it to like a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, right. So. But what you gonna do? But like other than that, it was fun. So like Irene and Anya, her partner, cleaned up the women's 4-5. They stumbled a little bit out of the gate, lost their first match in the round robin play, but then after that, basically, not really any match was in doubt.
Yeah, you guys did good. Like both of you got 2 medals, right?
So Irene got a gold with the women's, and then me and her got silver in the mixed 4.5. It was my first time playing mixed 4.5. Irene had done it one previous time at the Spruce Grove tournament when I couldn't make it, and she got bronze in that. But
yeah, because she's not playing with you, so that's why now you got.
I'm gonna chalk that up. She wasn't.
Tell her that. Tell Victor told you that.
But no, well, it's funny because especially when she's used to playing with me, and like we don't. So for those of you who are a little bit new to like the upper side of pickleball, at the pro level a lot, and then at like the 4-5, 5-0 levels a lot of mixed teams stack, and they'll stick the guy's forehand in the middle. So whether he's a lefty or righty, it doesn't really matter. But his forehand's in the middle, and some teams the guy is going to take like 70, sometimes 80% of the court, right? Me and Irene don't play like that. We basically play almost like a 50-50 game, and we switch constantly. We'll throw a stack in more so to mess with our opponents, or if we get stuck at a certain point, like say if we get stuck at a even number and I'm on the right and she's on the left, and we've been stuck at that for a couple rallies, we'll switch to mess up the other team so that they're not dinking to the same person, or if they don't realize it, they have to hit someone else instead. But no, it was fun. I thought all the matches were hard, but I honestly, walking into that, especially how a lot of people I know who know all the male players. I was telling Victor about this before we started recording. I was the only male player aside from one other person So I was the only male player who hadn't played in the men's 4-5 category
Mhm.
previous
Yeah,
day on Friday.
pops to you. You just jumped
Yeah.
the level.
Yeah, right. So like I played 4-0 with my partner Chris, who I had played with at provincials. In provincials we got bronze, and this one we jumped up to silver. So shout out to my partner Chris. We couldn't pull out the gold medal match. Went to 3 sets and lost 11-9 in the third set. So
That's too
against
bad.
against the team that we beat in the round robin, but
Oh,
that's okay. So oh yeah, and that was the other thing about this tournament. Everything was round robin, so there wasn't the double elimination bracket. So it's round robin. You get your seeding, and then so for example, if for mixed 4-5, when me and Irene played, we had 6 teams. The top 4 teams advance. One plays 4, 2 plays 3 in the semis. It's a 1 game to 15, and then you winners go to the finals for a 2 out of 3 finals, and losers go to the bronze game for a 1 game to 15. And that's how the entire tournament played out. If you had more teams, sometimes you had 2 pools, and then the top 2 teams or the top 3 teams would
yeah,
make it depending on the numbers. But I enjoy this as a change up from the brackets every now and then, because one, you get more games. You get more games for your buck. Even though it's a single game to 15, like we got to play 5 games in the mix. I got to play 5 games in the men's. Irene got to play, I think it was like 6 as well. And this was before even advancing to the semis. So I think we played a total of 8 games or 8 or 7 games. And then of course the 7th game for both of us was like a possible 3-setter match, right? So so like lots and lots of pickleball. Like I said, the mixed 4-5, all the games were hard, but the way me and Irene were able to pull away on some of the teams surprised me, because like I said, with me being the only male there who didn't compete in the men's 4-5 category the previous day, I was expecting, I don't want to say this is a shot to the other guys. I was expecting, I don't know, a lot harder shots. And now me and Irene might have just been keyed in the whole time, because like everyone was complimenting us on how we were playing, but it felt, I don't know, it felt like I was just able to return stuff. Like not very many times was there like a overhead slam or a shot that I didn't feel like I could get to, or I was like, oh man, that's just too good for me. You know what I mean? So like
I think there's two elements too, right? First element is the 50-50 that throws people off, and the other thing is it makes the men tends to attack the woman, right? But now suddenly like the woman technically should be on the right, but now Irene is on the left. So when they attack, now instead of attacking her, she's now attacking you, and now you're standing in there just blocking everything on that end. So that throws a lot maybe male off. I'll say, okay, now where I have to change where the angle of where I'm gonna attack. By doing that, sometimes they either get confused, that they're not used to having to attack this angle neither. So that give you guys the advantage to actually pull those one off. So maybe not necessarily they're just um not hitting as hard, but they might be, but just they now have to change the angle dynamic, which they're not used to, and for you, and that makes an advantage for your team.
Yeah, right. And like, and when I say hard, I don't mean like speed. I mean like I was expecting like higher precision shots, right? Because like it's another step up, and 4-5 is literally like one step below like pro.
Yeah, true.
Right. And it was but no, yeah, and having as good of a female partner as Irene is, who's able to return an insane amount of shots that were like, it wasn't like they weren't hitting to her even when she was on the left. Like I know there was one rally we had there in like the semifinals. I think she returned like 8 shots in a row from the back court, and she was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna, and like, and she was just driving everything back at them. Like, screw it, you want to keep hitting me, just drive, and then she throws in the drop. We get up to the court, they do one ding to me, and it's a pop-up, and then I finish it, right? And I was just like, I turned her and I was like, that was all you. Like that, like I finished it, but like you kept us in that rally the whole time. And so like we got lots of compliments, but I think more so it stood out how well or how far Irene has come along. Not only on the women's side, but now that she's hanging so well with these high level male players hitting at her, and she's able to return everything. So then they come at me, and like, and me, Vicky, you speed it up at me. I'm very, very good at resetting. That's kind of my jam.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's like, okay, well, we can't speed up at her. He's blocking our speed ups. okay, we're gonna dink. Well, then that's also my forte is the slow game. So now you're kind of playing into our hands, and but then we score a point, and then we switch, and now I'm on the left. It's like, okay, now do we play them regular, how we would normally play every other team? So yeah, I think our constant switching and playing straight up and basically having a 50-50 court share, like you said, messed a bunch of teams up. But yeah, we got nothing but compliments from everyone, and like even though we lost in the finals, so I'll
Yeah,
recap.
that was a heartbreaker. Like you
Yes,
had it, right? You had it.
yeah. So like we played Anya and Lonnie in the finals. They were so after the round robin, we were 4-1. They were 3-2. Everybody else was 2-3. So actually,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
third and fourth got decided by points for and against type of deal.
Mhm.
So like when we played them in the finals, we actually pickled them the first game 11-0.
Yes.
Second game they came on a lot stronger. They were hitting more crisp shots, and I think they beat us 11-8. And then in the finals, we were
something like that.
yeah, in the finals we were actually up 10-7, and then they went on a run, tied it at 10-10, and then we were trading side outs back and forth for a little bit. Then they got up 11-10. We broke them. We couldn't score. They got the ball back. We broke the first serve, and then it was like a really long rally for that final shot, and it ended up I had Lonnie down the line, and I actually hit the net cord, sat there. It felt like it sat there for an eternity, but it hit the net cord and then fell back onto
Oh no.
dude, right? It was just like so, and
No.
I don't think anyone was recording, but you just see me kind of like I dropped my paddle and I just have my hands on my knees like this because I was like right at the kitchen line. I was just like that. So
What's
in
your
that-
suggestion, Andrew? Next time, do you know what you should do?
go for it.
Yes, you're allowed to. You're
Yeah,
allowed to.
no,
So
I
just
know,
go
but
in and just blow it.
no, like no, but when I say it felt like it sat there for a long time, it was probably only like a quarter of a second. But
Okay,
like
gotcha.
in that moment, it's like it's
Uh.
like it's like what watching back like the Kawhi Leonard shot. It feels like that ball's bouncing on the rim forever, but when you actually play it in real time, it's like really, really quick. Right. But it just was one of those moments. And but yeah, so like it took like so I was really, very, really, really disappointed for like the first like 2-3 minutes after that happened. Because of course, you lost in the finals, you wanted to get the gold.
Oh,
It was such a good, like grueling, really, really competitive match. So, we shake hands, we congratulate. Irene comes over, taps me on the shoulder, like, no, we did really, really good. Like that was our first time playing 4-5, stuff like that. And so I was like, no, I'm gonna go get the bags. Give me like 2 minutes. So I kind of like, sped walk off, had a couple people fist bump me. I said, oh, thank you very much and stuff, but like had to go sit out by the podium while I waited for them to like call everyone else out. I was just taking like deep breaths, trying to like calm my nerves. Like after that, I was fine because like, Lonnie came out, like shook my hand, stuff like that. A bunch of other people were like walking out saying, oh, that was such a good match. It was so fun to watch and stuff like that. So in the end, I'm happy with how we did, especially like I said, first time playing that level. And for how well we did, it's like, okay, we can hang there now. Right. So like, so now every tournament we go to for mix at bare minimum, we're going to be playing 4-5 because we just showed that we could hang with everyone. Because there were some very, very good teams there. Teams that, like I said, I was expecting like we had grueling matches, but the fact that there was a few teams we beat and didn't let them get to 10. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking if we win every match is going to be like a 15-13 or a 16-14 game. Now we did have a couple matches that did that, but the fact that we were able to like get out onto a lead with most teams and finish it off and not let them come on that crazy run back, I was really happy with our performance with that. And like I said, for women's, Irene and Annie just cleaned house. Like if you wanted to record the match, like the one team of Cassie and Chrissy were gave them a good push, but if you were to record the match and watch it back, there was no really a point there where Anya and Irene didn't look like they were in control, type thing. And then for men's, yeah, like I said, me and Chris played really well. Like I said, second time playing together. I found we meshed. We're starting to mesh a lot better. Like in the provincials, we had our first game was bad because we were trying to figure each other out. Because for those of you who don't know, Chris is from Medicine Hat and I'm from Peace River. So we are like 12 hours away from each other. So it's not like we can just pick up the phone and say, hey, let's go drill.
Yeah.
So true. But we played really, really, like I said, I was really happy with our finish. Like same thing. Wish we could have pulled out the gold, but same thing. Like we finished the match, lost. I think, like I said, third set. I think it was 11-9, and that one I
Disappointed?
wasn't as disappointed with because I go into men's because I'm normally having a new partner every time. Like even though this was the second time playing with Chris, I go into men's with a lot less expectations. Like yes, I still want to get on the podium. I still want to win, but I don't go thinking that. I don't know. I think I put more pressure on myself when I play with Irene because she's doing so well on the women's side and she's like, got so close to getting drafted this year in the CNPL. I don't want to bring her ranking down.
But
right?
no, but this tournament just show you're hanging with her. You're
Yeah,
not,
right.
So
Yeah,
props to you. It shows that you're able to bring the level on par with her, or maybe push her to the next level.
Yeah, and that's been the whole kind of goal for us is to push each other, right? And like and because obviously with the male and female thing, she can push me so far, but like it's like and I gotta give a big shout out to our club members who play with us all the time, who push Irene, who push me to be better, and they actually so yeah, shout out to two in particular, Chris and Nicole, and they actually won the mixed 4-0 division, which so shout out to them. And then Chris also won the men's singles.
Nice.
3-5, and he went into that with like zero expectations at all. So I was just and it was funny because we were home already, and no, I actually sorry, I was out on a job on the Sunday, and I happened to glance at brackets, and I texted him, I was like, oh wow, gold medal, right? Because he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in and have fun, but. So yeah, big shout out to them because we practice with them all the time. Like we have our little group of like 4-5 players in our club, and there's only about 5 or 6 of us, and we play each other all the time and are constantly pushing each other to be better. So if we didn't have them to play with, we probably wouldn't have gotten this far with how well we've been playing. So
nice. Shout outs to you too. You two did well. I want to also shout out a couple of people. I was talking to Lonnie. I have to shout out Lonnie. He just came over for the men's, and he played also at the mix. So shout out to him to winning with Anya, and obviously Anya, she was that close getting that triple crown. Obviously, unfortunately, the final single did not win as well. But anyway, she almost pulled out the triple crown.
yeah, both of them are awesome players. I really enjoyed playing against them. So. And then Victor, you also went to the Western Regionals in Vernon to ref, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was something else though. That was not Red Deer Open. That was like a 4 days full event in Vernon, BC. Well, I guess you know how was Vernon, BC anyway. You went there for the CNPL trials. Anyway, so over there they have 12 indoor courts. They actually converted the tennis court for another 12 courts outdoors. And for the mix, they use another facility on at Coldstream, BC, which is about 15 minutes from where the Vernon Pickleball Club is. It's like in a skate, like kind of like a skating ring, but they put like 6 pickleball additional pickleball court over there because there's just too many teams. But they did it just only in mix. So yeah, and that was my first tournament as like real certified referee. Yeah, so so that was a milestone for me. There's a couple. What I think they did some upgrades. So this year they put out a clubhouse. I don't think you saw that. That just outside their club, they actually built a clubhouse which they have AC. They have like a conference room. They have now dedicated washrooms like that's inside and everything.
I think when we were there for the qualifiers, I think the foundation was laid, but I know it definitely wasn't built yet.
No, so we were actually the first. Almost like I was talking to the treasurer because he was also a referee. He was telling me that we're basically almost the first people just got into the building. So
oh, nice.
We're lucky. So for the referee was perfect because now we instead of waiting outside on the trailer or something, now we're actually inside an air conditioning area for it, which is nice. Couple of things I kind of maybe as a constructive criticism. There's not a lot of food trucks, so there's not enough kind of food variety that you could try. Yeah, you have Tim Hortons that's close enough and stuff like that. But when you're in tournament, you don't want to move out of the venue as much, right? So they could have more food trucks maybe on there. And also, it's a Western regional. I was like, guys, can you give a little better prize money? Oh, not prize money, but just prize, just a little bit better. Only the gold medalists got like a pack of chips or candy. I was like, you can give it to all three, right? Like all three medalists. How much is gonna cost you?
Well, that's more than what you got at nationals last year.
Yeah, true. I know, but still, like
Nationals, you just got the medal, and that was it. Now,
yeah,
mind you,
I know.
now, mind you, the gift bag from nationals was. I'm trying to remember what the hell was in there. So we had. I know we had these. We had the towel.
Yeah, you have the towel. Do you have a shirt, or do you have to buy? No, you have to buy the shirt.
Yeah, you had to buy the shirt. I know there was a bunch of there's a bunch of local coupons, but that's every tournament.
Yeah,
There was
like
something else. I think there was some. Whoever was the energy drink sponsor, there was one of their powders in there.
Oh, is it
And
the pickle something like that?
something like that, yeah. And then there was something. I know there was like two or other three little actual like snacks in there or something like that, but that was in like the gift bag. And obviously, because I didn't go to Western Regionals this year, I don't know what would have been in the players' gift bag for this one.
I know. I see. They have a hat. They actually have a hat, and they have a towel. They have a towel.
Oh, that's nice. So they had the hat then. That's not bad.
Yeah, the gift bag, it was not too bad, but like for the winners, I was like, can all three have the bag of chips or anyway?
Yeah, if you're gonna give out a bag of chips, you might as well give it to all three type of deal.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, come on, how much it cost you like that bag?
Well, and I'm guessing it wasn't a very big bag, like just a snack one.
No, it was big. It was maybe not the Costco size. It's more like a superstore size. Like you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. If you wanted to, what you could do then the superstore size for the gold medal and get like little snack bags, like the Halloween size.
Mm-hmm.
They have those for like.
I don't know. Like that. Maybe that could be better. Just me. That's
either that or don't give it out. Like just go with this. Just go straight up with the medals type of thing. Yeah, that's a little weird, but I like the idea of having like a snack or like something else with it. But yeah, like anyway. But give it to all three medalists.
Yeah, that's just me anyway. And then there was a couple of pretty long matches. So there is Geraint Jones, which is our head referee in Alberta, and also my mentor, referee mentor. He did the match, I think 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Oof. I think my champion. So for those of you who are wondering, I think my championship, me and Irene's championship against Anya and Lonnie, I think was an hour and a half.
I don't
know. That's like an extra. That's an extra 30 minutes on top of that. Like
yes.
And it was that and that was a 3-setter, I'm guessing.
3-setter plus the tiebreaker.
Oh, so it was a gold medal match and a tiebreaker. So
yeah, it's a gold medal match plus tiebreaker.
So so you're averaging at bare minimum a half hour per game.
Almost. I think it ended 2018, something like that.
Oh geez, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Gary Spencer and Mary Pickering. They're the two that make it to that goal. One goal at that match. So yeah, shout out to them. 2 hours and 12 minutes. That was something. And then even myself, I was not too. I also have a pretty long match. It was a 3-0 mix, 13 plus. It was outdoors at that Coldstream court. It was an hour 30 minutes too. It was same thing. It wasn't three games. It was 2 games, and then obviously the B side won. So there was a match tiebreaker, 18-16 that ended.
Oh, there you go. Well, at least that's a fun match to ref. So
yeah, it was a fun match. A lot of side out, obviously. That's why it went all the way down there. But anyway, no, it was good. What else? I ref another. Oh, so a couple pros was in at the Western Regionals, right? So shout out to Michael McCaffrey. He actually told me congrats getting that certified rep. So he obviously listened to our podcast.
Michael does. He's messaged our post before, so big shout out to Michael, and he's been doing awesome on the Pronghorns this year.
Yes, so shout outs to him. I actually ref him at one of his match. He was playing against Dewey and Sean Sonigo, and they just crushed him. And then now you can see the level between pros and 4-5 is like different level. So
Yeah.
and anyway, so I kind of see, oh my god, I have trouble beating Dewey. I was like, okay, forget it. I'm not even gonna be able to compare against my goal. Forget it about it. Anyway, so yeah, Michael was there. Sonny Buttar was there too. Connor Weeks, Chris Lane was there. On the woman side, not as much pro, except Cassie Roger was there. She actually got called like last minute because her partner's partner, previous partner, couldn't make it suddenly. So that partner called her up, see if she can play with her, and then she did, and then they won. Actually, they won gold. I was refereeing that match against Gloria and Maria Pickering. Was a pretty fun match, and then same thing. You can see, okay, Cassie being a pro, she's on a different level than any 4-5, 2-5-0. Same thing.
Yeah, and Sarah McNeil is also an insanely good player as well. So
yes,
like,
sorry, I didn't know. I just forgot her name. Sarah McNeil did an insane. Because I think Rory lobbed her. She did an insane from like she tracked down the ball and then she do almost a 360 turn with her backhand and she hit it, drop it right on the kitchen. That was
that's
freaking
awesome.
insane. That point was insane. I still had it in video, so maybe if Sarah still want it, I have it. So and other than that, it was well run. It was a long day. Every day we were in almost like 6:30, 7 o'clock. But other than that, it went well. A couple little shout out that Ava, she got medal. Ava Weeks, she got 3 medals in 3 different categories. So she got bronze in women's double with Shay at 4-0. She got bronze in mixed in 5-0. Was she playing with Joe Peltier?
Playing with Brett Forsyth.
Oh, not Brett Forsyth, sorry. And then she got bronze for single 4-0. Jacob Bakowi also got 3 medals, so gold on men's double 4-0 with Nate. He got also gold in mixed 4-0 with Shay, and then he got bronze for single on 4-0. So congrats to them. Yeah, and
we had a lot of Alberta people clean up at this event.
Yeah. So
like Jordan McCool, Morin, and then also Sefra Daviduk, they cleaned up in the singles.
Mm-hmm. Do you know I beat Jordan 2 years ago in singles 3-0?
Yeah. So what the heck, Victor?
I just didn't play singles, Jordan is playing super good. He still remembers me. He actually Safra actually told me he's saying that Jordan still have nightmares off my drives. Maybe I don't know. I'm not as strong maybe now. Maybe anyway, and then I don't play as much singles anyway, and it's difficult now. I don't know anymore. I enjoy reffing, but I enjoy playing, and then you don't want to play when I'm reffing, and then you don't want to ref when you're playing. So I don't know anymore.
It's one of those. Yeah, double-edged.
I'm kind of stuck in my this dilemma right now. I don't know. Do I ref more or do I play more? Anyway, we'll see about next year.
Might have to pick one event and then be like, "Okay, that day is my day off, guys. I'll ref everything else, or I'll even ref after I'm done," type of thing. So,
yeah. And anyway, but yeah, level of player on that Western Regional that definitely picked up compared to maybe 2 years ago. I think at that Medicine Hat. Oh man, the level of play is definitely had increased tremendously from 2 years, and especially our Alberta players. Shout out to all Alberta players. They're just starting to really pick up the pace compared to other province.
No, yeah, like I'm just kind of scrolling through now, and there's like if not at gold, there's an Alberta player almost on every podium.
Which is good, which is super good. Oh,
Yeah,
by the way, so you saw how many people was playing at Western Regional, right?
yeah, like 629 or something like that.
Yeah. Do you know the Central Regional, how many people was playing? So Central Regional happened at the same time during the Red Deer Open, which is last week. So Central Regionals compass of Ontario and Quebec, right? Do you know how many people was playing there?
Am I going higher or lower?
Like down
Down. I'm 200.
120.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Did they not advertise it well, or I wonder if someone's hosting it pissed somebody off.
I don't know.
I know in Ontario right now there's a little bit of push.
Yeah, disconnect
different clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it was hosted in Quebec, in Laval, Quebec, so which is the outskirts of Montreal, and they hosted in a tennis centers called Tennis Diaries, which is an indoor tennis facility. So I don't know, and I was trying to look in the players, and most of the players are just from Quebec. There's like basically no Ontario player playing.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
That's yeah. Mind you, we can throw this out as like people who live in. Well, you don't, but I live in a rural place. People from cities don't like to drive.
To the other city.
So if someone lived in Toronto or anywhere around that, or in any of the surrounding area, then they might think that's a long drive. I don't know.
But I drive all the way to Banner. Come on.
No, you do. I said that's why I said you're sort of, you technically live in a city, but you're used to driving, because we live in Alberta, and like there's only like 3 places that can host a massive tournament in Alberta, and it's like Red Deer, that.
Yeah, true.
Right now we have a few being built now, so we might actually be able to do like a north, mid, south type deal, but not quite yet.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so it was well run. So hopefully, maybe we'll see where the Western Regional is going to be next year. Probably Winnipeg, is it?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Manitoba, because it rotates between the 4 provinces. Because it was Alberta last year, BC this year, the year before that it was in Regina, Saskatchewan, and so yeah. So I'm guessing Winnipeg. I honestly have no idea about what the court situation is like in Manitoba. So
I don't either.
I would guess Winnipeg, just because it's the big city.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably have courts, is what my guess would be.
I know. I know. Vernon told me he's want to try to bid for the nationals next year. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Because nationals are going to be on the West Coast next year, because they were on the East Coast this year. So yeah, I would say, yeah, Vernon. I've never played on the outdoor court part of Vernon. I've only played in the indoor just because it was for the qualifiers for CNPL. But yeah, my guesses would be Vernon. Red Deer probably wants a break because they've hosted provincials, and then provincials back-to-back years, and then they hosted, and then Medicine Hat might want a break too, because they just hosted Western Regionals, and then they hosted provincials before that. So now, unless you're going to get one of the indoor facilities, like maybe like Edmonton hosts, but it's like a combination host between EVPC, YAG, and those areas, like I could see that, and then you do not have to worry about any weather delays.
True.
Right, like,
but the problem is you're gonna need the multiple venue, and this is the problematic.
Yeah, that's where it becomes problematic, especially for refs, unless you're going to say, "Okay, you refs are in this facility, you refs are in that facility."
Well, not only ref, as a player is disruptive. Even in the Western Regionals, I saw a couple of players trying to go to the Coldstream to practice, and myself, I was going there just to see. Okay, I'm reffing on Saturday over there, so I just want to give a drive and see what's going on there. The setup is different, wind conditions is different, and the court condition is different. So you have to readjust right away to another place versus now, and then the next day you go back to the pickleball facility. So you're like, anyway.
Yeah, and like, you can say what you want about the trade center in Regina. Like, you had the hub with like the 10 or 12 courts, and then
Yeah, about that.
and then you had the trade center, but it was in the same building. Like the
Yeah, it
hub
was the same
attached to
building,
the
so
center.
I
So,
won't say it's a
aside from
different facility.
aside from adjusting to the floor of the trade center, because of course the floor was the polished pavement or whatever it was. But aside from adjusting to that, it was all in the same spot. So if you finished playing, say in the trade center, you could then just walk inside in AC and walk over and watch like the pros play who are playing on the hub spot, right? So like a spot like that would be really good. Like, so that's why I'm thinking like out of places in Edmonton right now, like I guess the new Edmonton Pickleball Center has the most courts, but it's still only what, 15?
Yeah, technically not, they can push it to 19, but anyways,
So
like,
so 19, and then what's the closest facility to them? Like if we're talking distance wise,
yeah,
probably
which is,
Yeg. So,
yeah, Cat 7.
and Yeg has 7. So that would maybe get you over the hump, but then nationals lately have been like you almost need 30 plus.
Oh yeah, I think Halifax has
Because you're up in like
40.
you're up in like the 600s, almost 700s now.
And Halifax is almost having into the 40 scores.
Yeah, right. So unless you're gonna also get one of the hubs, because isn't there a third hub opening up on that side of?
Yes, there's another hub that's going to be opening at the West End, where we don't know how many courts. We don't know yet.
Yeah. So like I'm not sure. Like if you did like a three area system and be like, okay, this one is specifically for this age category or this category, this one specifically for that one type of thing like that. But then it's like same thing. Then it comes down to driving. If you want to go watch, like say if you have a buddy who's playing, like say you're playing 4-5 and then your buddy's playing 3-5.
Yeah, that's
that
disruptive.
same facility, right? It's annoying. So that's where the problem runs in. Because other than that, like your options are Red Deer, and they'll have to use the gym as well, like they did the 1 year.
Well,
and then
yeah,
and then Medicine Hat and same thing, they would have to use the rec
use the
center
gym.
gym as well, right? So that's where right now for Alberta, those are really your only two options at the moment.
maybe Spruce Grove. They're still into talks to they may
Gonna be ready in
announced
time
to-
for when national? Would it be ready in time though for say like the end of August next year though?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the problem. Now apparently Cochrane's building something.
Yeah, Cochrane is building something, but it's not going to be more than 20 courts though.
And I think there's another one being built in Calgary, but same thing. You're maxing out at 20 courts, whereas like yeah, for nationals now you need like 30 plus.
Yeah, well, in Halifax they have 40. They're able to make it all the way to 40, right? So
because I think if we look at Regina there was 21 in the trade center, and then at least another 10 to 14. Wait,
12, almost 12 because they put in 2 more courts outside.
Yeah,
right?
they built those 2 extra courts. Yeah, so like 33, 34 courts they had. And then that one seemed to flow pretty smoothly. There was 1 or 2 times, and that was more so which side of the bracket they decided to start first is when they ran into issues with scheduling. But other than that, like it was pretty smooth flowing for most of the events.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I was just gonna say for Vernon, yeah. So if Vernon only has, what'd you say they had, and not counting the other place?
20 was it 24?
24, and then they needed another. What was it? 7?
They put 6.
Another. So that's
30.
only caps you at 30.
But that's what they say. That's what they're telling me. If they're gonna get the national, they want to try to get their soccer field. That's the indoor soccer field that beside it.
Oh
they probably want to get that.
See now if they do that, then because I'm gonna say that indoor soccer pitch, you could probably fit what 4, maybe 5 with proper spacing.
I don't know how big it is, so I have no idea. But it's a pretty big facility too.
It's a big facility. I'm just trying to think because if it's an indoor soccer pitch, so think a hockey rink. Because if you go to Spruce Grove, they have those indoor soccer pitches in the one rec center there. I'm saying probably max 3 courts. If it's only 1 pitch, if it's like, because you could probably squeeze 4, but then you might run into the issue of when the courts are beside each other, spacing with that.
Yeah, I don't know how big it is, and then they say I think the biggest problem is how they're gonna put the surface down. That was their main issue.
Or you
Yeah,
get a,
probably
you
I
get
gotta have to use like pickle roll or something.
yeah, like a pickle roller or one of those, because there's a bunch that do it. And then if you call them up and try to work out some type of sponsorship deal with it,
Yeah,
so maybe you get it for cheaper or something like that, and like they're the official court of whatever.
yeah, pickleball Canada, like
Yeah,
CNPL.
right. So, but yeah, so like if I'm thinking for nationals, if I'm thinking for nationals for the West Coast, like I said, unless there's something in Winnipeg that we haven't heard of for court wise, and that's just me not having gone and played there. But
Yeah.
honestly, Regina right now is the most ideal.
Yeah,
Just
because it's the center of
it's
everything, right?
everything. It's central, or a little bit more central for like the Ontario people and Quebec and all those people. But then it's also everything is in the one building, right?
Yes, agree.
And like they have because they had food trucks there, and then there's also literally a McDonald's
Yeah, it's a
100,
couple.
100 feet 100
Yeah,
feet
I
from
know.
the
I
store or
know.
something like
You can
that.
just walk out and then just see it. Oh, it's just
Yeah,
McDonald's.
it's like literally right there. And then hey, if they do it when the CFL is going, you can go watch a Rough Riders game as well, because it's literally right beside the football
Yeah,
field.
exactly. Everything is so close around that
Yeah.
area. So it
And,
was,
I've enjoyed the 2 times I've gone to Regina and played there, because I played there for when they hosted the Western Regionals 2 years ago, and then when they hosted Nationals last year. And I've had a blast there every time. They put on a really, really good
agree.
tournament.
They did like the layout and everything was
Yeah.
very nice. But I know if I'm going, I'll be reffing.
Well, yeah, because then all your stuff is paid for.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I play, I lose everything.
Yeah. So you're hoping that an Alberta one hosts, just so then maybe you can play, because then you're not worried as
Exactly.
much about that, right?
See that? See that? I hope Alberta hosted so I can
There
play.
you go, right? So
There you go. There you go. You got it.
awesome. All right, and then you went and checked out Pacific Pickleball over in BC while you guys were over there for the Westerns.
Yeah, so after our Vernon trip, we just continued to drove down to Vancouver, which is another 5 hours away, and then we stay about 4 days over there, and then a bunch of other people from Edmonton was there. So the Gibbs, Albert and Shauna was there. Dewey and Susan was there. Peter Shaw also, and her wife was there. So we're like, oh, we're all in Vancouver. Do you want to play a little bit of pickleball? We're like, and then it was kind of Vancouver is always raining, right? So it was a little rainy during that week. So we're like, we're not going to chance it to play outdoors. Let's go to somewhere indoors. So there's a facility called Pacific Pickleball, which is a very similar facility like the Hub, just a little different layout. They have 7 courts with 1 practice court. The space between courts was kind of okay. Was maybe a little tight on the side, but not as tight as the Hub. Like the number 3 or number 4 courts was super tight. It's not as tight, but still tight. The fee was reasonable. It was just $12 an hour, even though you're not member. So which is, I'll say, acceptable and they have like washroom, they have change rooms, they have like lockers that you get that was free to use, and they have a pro shop. They have someone at the front desk that's gonna be able to direct you everything. So that was well run. It was a little hot because they didn't turn on the AC. I was a little disappointed. So like you have all the AC around already. Like just turn them on, please. Anyway, just me whining because I was sweating like crazy. Anyway, and their couple is actually Eugene Marr. He was actually teaching while we're playing, and yeah, he was also at the Western Regional too.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's right. I do see him posting videos from there on his Instagram and stuff.
Yeah. So he is the club pro at Pacific Pickleball. So that was interesting. Another spot that I went was the for people that would go to Vancouver often, the QE. So the Queen Elizabeth Park. They have around I would say 8 to 9 courts over there. It's predominantly tennis courts, and then they kind of build like a triangle corner of pickleball courts. I just felt like it was highly used. As like you can be waiting for hours before you can play. There's so many people playing over there. The thing I didn't like over there is the layout of the court. They could have, because they do it in a triangle. They should have played all the court like just straight. So there's a lot of like loose space from the corner. They should have maybe lay out the court like more like kind of diagonally, so they can really maximize the amount of the space with amount of courts. They all like with the space they had, they could almost put 12 courts, but because they lay out all straight, they only can place like kind of eight courts. So it's kind of a little odd like how they did it. But it's city, right? They don't consult with pickleball players, is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just we're just gonna toss this stuff in here and make it work, type of thing.
Yeah, and then the other thing is BC and being BC, like their park, you have to pay for parking in the park. Like what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait, what was what? What the heck?
Yep. That's it. That's every park unless it's certain times on the weekend.
Yeah,
that's even in Kelowna, it's like that.
That was freaking crazy.
How they keep them so pretty.
Well, you pay taxes. Come on, I'm paying taxes. Like you should. Anyway, it's just me whining. Sorry, people.
All right. All right. So moving on from that, there is some news. DUPR is starting to be integrated into the pickleball bracket system. I know. What was it, a week ago when I went to sign into brackets, it asked for me to link my DUPR account. So
yeah, did you do it?
Oh yeah, and it hasn't changed my bracket rating yet, but I'm assuming that's coming.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is if that's according to some sources that I have. So if you link your DUPR and all 4 players also link their DUPR, so while like the tournament you played Red Deer, if all 4 players have linked into DUPR, that matches that you just play in Red Deer will count into your DUPR.
Oh, I might actually pull a DUPR up really quick here and actually see it, because I don't know if Anya and Lonnie are. I'm assuming Anya has a DUPR because she's gone to enough of that stuff.
I think Anya has DUPR. Not sure about Lonnie because Lonnie's like out here and there sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now it's actually so if you haven't been linking your DUPR account into your brackets, which is me, they just every time you open the page, they're gonna harass you saying your profile is not connecting to DUPR. Your profile is not connecting to DUPR, so it's just harassing you to connect your DUPR account into brackets.
Well, they're owned by the same company now anyway, so you might as well.
Yes.
Eventually they're just going to link it all anyways.
Yeah, now it's just I just have a little questioning is if your DUPR is high but your CTPR rating is low, does it mean you can still sandbag or you can't sandbag? I don't know. I haven't tried that yet.
I'm not sure. So I'm looking at it right now. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. Because Jacob and Shay are on DUPR. I know that because they've played in those Cherco tournaments.
Yep.
Right. So we played them and
you beat them.
And we beat them at the Red Deer Open. That so far is not in there. Now I don't know if Jacob and Shay have linked their accounts. I know me and Irene have.
But you need them to link their account in order to enter.
Yeah. But I'm wondering how, because DUPR normally it's like right away, like it's updated right away. But I'm wondering if they have to wait for brackets to finalize the tournament before it then.
Yeah, they have to wait for the brackets to finalize the tournament before
okay.
It automatically generates into the DUPR.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, I guess we'll have a little
as it keeps going, we're gonna see them pretty much merge into one, and they'll try to. Hopefully, they take the best of both and go from there. Like I like how brackets does tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't like how if you lose, you're getting a minus regardless. Whereas with DUPR, if you lose, like, well, for example, so if I were to play Ben Johns and I score in a single game to 11 and I score 11, or no, sorry, and I score 9.
Yep.
Right. Brackets, I'm getting a minus regardless.
Yeah, like
DUPR, I'm gonna go up because the skill difference is so great between the two of us. So it's like, well, he played really well, so obviously he's
or maybe you got just 0. You just got 0.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
down.
For those of you wondering, so brackets, regardless, as if you now, if you lose to someone who's higher ranked than you, you don't go down as much in brackets, but you will go down regardless.
Yes, you go down regardless.
Right. So, like, for example, for me, like when I said the thing about what happened to me at nationals where the partner didn't show up, and I lost 11-0, 11-0, 15-0 because I wasn't allowed to withdraw. My team was higher rated than the other team in both of those events. So I dropped low. I took a minus, and then I also dropped lower. Now, DUPR, obviously, I would have dropped even probably more massively because right. So for DUPR,
no, maybe I would say probably DUPR will realize that it was just a withdrawal. Then they probably not going to count.
Yeah, or at least you'd be able, or like, yeah. But so it's funny how that was like a year ago, and it's still bugging me. But
you should just call them back. Hey, it was a withdrawal. Why?
Yeah. Well, they and basically the ruling for that was, because I was talking to the organizers, was because he's not there, he can't confirm the withdrawal. Both players have to confirm the withdrawal, basically. So.
Well, at the same time, like if he didn't make it anyway.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. Well, we'll avoid that. But yeah. So basically the way it works. So say if me and Victor play the Johns brothers on brackets. So say we lose 11-9, 11-9 on brackets. We're taking a minus regardless. On DUPR, our DUPR ratings would actually jump up because we're playing like guys who are like 5-5 or 6-0 or whatever the heck the Johns brothers are.
Actually 7.
Yeah, 7 something, right? So like, for example, my DUPR rating right now is 4.337. Victor's, I think, is like a 4.7, something like that. Or are you a 5?
4.89, I think.
Yeah,
no,
so like
5,
Victor's really high, but regardless, our like the two of us versus people who are ranked 7, the fact that we scored 9 in a match will push us up. Like I'd probably jump up. I'd probably jump up to like a 4.6. Victor would jump up into the 5,
probably.
Easily, type of thing, right? So whereas on brackets, you take those same ratings,
take it down.
You take those same ratings. Victor would probably drop down to about a 4.6. I would drop down to like a 4.2. Type of deal, right? So like I like the idea where DUPR rewards you for scoring against higher opponents, type of thing, right? So it's, and same thing, like, so the Johns brothers beat us. Yes, they would go up in DUPR, but they wouldn't go up very much.
They're probably not going to move.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't move at all because they had a lower opponent score.
Yeah,
so now whereas brackets, you'd still move up, but the same thing, you'd only move up like a 0.02 or something like that.
But you still move up. That's the problem.
But you still move up, right?
Move up. Versus DUPR, they wouldn't move up because you're expected to win.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's fun. Like when you look at the after the tournaments, or brackets even has that expected versus actual. I'm like, why are you showing that if it has 0 effect on my rating?
Yeah, on my rating, exactly. I don't know why.
Right. So it's one of those things where bracket has a lot of these good systems in place, but if you could infuse some of that DUPR stuff in there, it would be a very, very good algorithm. And the other, and like, I saw a bunch of posts throughout seeing how the Olympics just ended. Shout out to Canada because we did awesome this Summer Olympics.
Oh yeah.
But if we wanted to, and there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is in the Olympics, but pickleball isn't." I'm like, yeah, because we don't have a fully global system. Now, the Global Pickleball Federation is working on that, and they have lots of countries hooked up, but a lot of the European countries aren't hooked up into that yet. 2, we don't have even the same rating system everywhere,
and that's one of the biggest problems.
That's one of the biggest problems. So if you want pickleball to be in or even be considered for an Olympic sport, because it's not going to be confirmed in time for because Los Angeles is hosting it in 4 years.
2028 is it's too close.
It's not even close. There's still a small possibility for like 2032, but
it's still a long shot.
You would literally have to figure out the rating system. You have to figure out the line calling system, because there's no way are you going to let players call their own lines at an Olympics.
Yeah, they have to re-implement the line judge for some reason. I don't know why they don't do that. Like they should just re-implement the line judge.
Just re-implement it and then have video review.
Yeah.
Right. It's like now, okay, so I know this isn't the same sport, but it requires a 2 versus 2 thing. Pickleball, for video purposes and entertainment purposes, should look at how beach volleyball did things.
Yeah.
That looked like it was the funnest experience to one, be at, but also just to watch. Like the different camera angles they use. Now I know it costs more money and stuff like that, but the way they just shot the thing, the way they did video reviews, they have line judges because it's volleyball. But just the overall atmosphere of how they did that, and it's a single court surrounded by bleachers, right? The same way when you watch like the finals at a pro pickleball tournament. Pickleball, who like PPA, CNPL, all you guys, go back and watch how that was delivered. If you make pickleball look like that, you will have no problem getting into the Olympics as far as like presentation goes. Because like I'll give a shot like that. That's, like I said, not the same sport, but it's a 2 versus 2 thing with a net, right?
It's close enough, actually.
Yeah, right. But like just the way that atmosphere was created, the way the camera angles were done, the way they did video review, like line judges, all that stuff. It was by far one of the most entertaining things to watch throughout the entire Olympics.
Nice. Yeah, it is. I did watch a couple of them. Like the video angles are perfect. Like the atmosphere was great. People was cheering, yelling, everything was.
Oh yeah, they had a live DJ. Like Chuck it, like there was in the gold medal game on the women's when Brazil and Canada got into that little yappy thing. The DJ turns on John Lennon. John Lennon, Imagine.
Classic.
And everyone in the audience started laughing, and even like some of the officials and players started laughing because there was like a little bit of a quick argument. But I was like, okay, that DJ needs a raise because that's like on par. Like he had that like
perfect
lined up so quick, right? But no, yeah, like if we're talking about that type of stuff, that is like, so yeah, the DUPR integration looks like it's a step towards maybe getting a proper rating system, or at least like the baby steps towards it. But yeah, that's between the proper rating system, the line calls. If you can knock down those two, you get rid of a lot of the issues that's plaguing pickleball right now for a popularity standpoint. At least for viewership and for people taking it seriously as a sport.
Yeah. Either is also DUPR maybe needs to a little bit revamp it, because right now, like even on DUPR I'm 4.89, but I don't feel I'm 4.89, and it just DUPR just overinflated my
what's the little what's your thing beside your rating? The little they have like your rating, then they have like
it's 100 right now.
Oh, you're at 100. Yeah, I'm at mine. Yeah, so mine's 4.337, and it's at a 65. Accuracy.
Yeah, because everything was charcoal that was entered, so I didn't enter it. It was charcoal.
Yeah, so it's considered more accurate because an organization is putting it in.
Yeah, but even though it says it's accurate, but it's just overinflated because I'm playing the freaking we're playing a ladder, and I'm just playing those players over and over again. I'm not playing other players, right? So that's the thing.
You guys, yeah, you're slowly each of you are inflating your own numbers, and it's like, well, I'm now playing a 5-0. Yeah, but you've been playing that person since they were a 3-5.
Yeah, it's kind of count. That's not. Yeah. So that's why I was like, I don't feel like I'm nowhere near 4.8 or in like I'm probably close to a 4.5, like close, but not close to a 5, not at all. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and like the easiest way right now to tell is how you do when you play in tournaments. And like unfortunately, like as much as I like doing like the team stuff, I don't consider that a proper
team. So that's a proper.
It's team. It's rally scoring. Right, so there's a lot of things that I throw in there that I don't consider.
It's not the same, and there's a lot of things the DUPR does not pay account to. It does not pay account to mix, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah,
it does not play into account. It does not play into account. Or now I'm playing against a male and male. oh, doesn't pay account on playing it. Okay, that's all women's only. That does not play into account. Like it almost need like DUPR needs like a rating. Okay, that's your men's rating. That's your mixed rating. Like a little bit like what the CTPR
basically what
and then a single
basically what
rating basically.
does is you have your mixed rating, you have your whatever your gender category is for rating, and then you have your singles rating, right? Because put it this way, if we were to do DUPR for our Peace River Club here, Irene would probably be like a 6 already. Because she's playing men the entire time.
There you go.
She's playing men all the time, right? So it's just like, or because it's usually me and her and like 2 other guys. Now we do have Nicole, who's our other female, but sometimes when Nicole's not there, it's literally Irene and like 3 or 4 4.0, 4.5 guys playing, right? So it's just like, so the fact that DUPR doesn't take that into account, but bracket, I guess, no, sorry, if they take that into account with brackets, then it's like, yeah,
she's the 5.
I guess you should, you just shouldn't enter a match, and if it's not either mixed or if it's not, like if you have 3 guys and 1 girl playing, it probably shouldn't get entered into DUPR.
Yeah, something like that. And
because it's either massively unfair for the female player, especially if they're playing against high level male player, right? Like,
well,
like if this is like 3 O's all playing together, sure, whatever, do what you want with that. But once you get into like that 4-5, 5-0, all that area, it's like at that point now it's not fair to them.
No,
because they're playing guys who can hit the ball harder, more than likely are taller, stronger. Like, and it was funny because me and Irene had this conversation. She's like, the reason why, like, because everyone's asking, oh, how do you get everything? How are you so quick when you're playing females? She goes, because I have guys hit to me all the time. Like, she goes, I have my husband drive the ball at me. I have the other males at the club drive the ball at me, and they're going to hit harder than any of you guys are. Right? They're going to hit harder and faster. So she goes, so she goes, now when females hit to me, she goes, it's not, motion. It's like, not quite slow motion, but she goes, it's like, I'm already there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things. So the fact that it doesn't take that into account on DUPR, it's just, that's one of the backdrops of it. That's why we're saying if we can kind of amalgamate the two, take the best parts of both.
Yeah. It's not perfect, and there's no rating is perfect, obviously, but
no,
it still needs refinement, definitely.
Yeah, definitely needs refinement. And then, like we said, the other main thing is the line calls. So,
line calls is a different animal. I think the PPA will try something in September. They will have a camera dedicated. I think it's going to be a 240 frame per second camera. It's going to be dedicated for line calls, which is good. We'll see how they're gonna broadcast it up though. So
you got to have it on the broadcast for the. Are they just doing it for challenges then, or is it going to be like?
I don't know yet. What they say, they're gonna use it as a video challenge, but they are able to use it for broadcasting. I don't know. It's a questionable yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Broadcasting as well, not just challenge. It's like they called that out, and that was clearly in, but they didn't challenge it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see in September. So more to follow.
Yeah.
So equipment corner, I have a big piece of money bag behind me.
Oh crap! I'm looking at your notes. That is expensive.
No, here we go. We call it the kitchen bag. If people, people on YouTube was able to see it. So I don't know if you know that this is from Bread and Butter that did a collab with a kitchen bag. So this kitchen bag is basically all leather. And a couple of cool features on that. So first of all, like your ball, sometimes you're like, it's all the way into my bag. How are we gonna find it? This one has magnetic pockets. Right? See that?
Oh, nice.
My ball's right here.
Sweet, that's nice. I think I've seen them post on Instagram, but I haven't looked.
Yeah, that's the one. And then they have hooks on the strap, so it's pretty easy. There are multiple zippers here. Up there, another one up here, and then you have the bigger compartment inside, which I was able to hold probably 5 paddles in there. So basically hold it.
Not enough for you, but enough for everybody else.
Yeah, for me it's a little stretch. I usually hold like 10 paddles, so that's a little stretch for me. Anyway, for most of the people who bring maybe 2 paddles should be fine. They have some, like, I didn't put it in that there's a hook for if you're using sunglasses. They have a sunglasses case that you can hook into that area. So
Oh, nice.
which is very nice. Here, that strap is basically they call it the kind of a utility strap. Do you really do need that? Not really. This is actually for the shoes if you want to. I just hold a bunch of crap in there, so it's easy accessible, and then you can take it out if you want to. It's really practical. Pickleball Studio. So Chris Ocean, what he did, he actually put that back to test. He just jumped it outside into the rain. Was like freaking thunderstorm for 30 minutes, and still everything is dry. So
Oh, nice.
obviously, I'm not telling you should be doing this. I'm not telling that, it's thunderstorm, I can leave my bag outside, I'll be fine. Don't do that, please. You're just gonna ruin your bag. But let's say you're playing and suddenly it's raining like crazy. If you stick everything into your bag and then walk away, you'll be fine.
Yeah. And how much does that bag run, just for everybody listening?
$300 US. Ouch. It hurts.
So maybe get sponsored first.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so
and I'll be honest, it does look like a really nice bag, but I know $300 is out of my budget. So
yeah, it's quite expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't have to.
I had to do a lot of house chores to convince his wife to let him buy that.
Or just do a lot of referee.
That too. That's why he's refereeing so much, not playing. He's got to pay for that bag.
I know. Yeah, that's like 2 paddles, 3 paddles, easy. Anyway, okay. Another paddle. Unfortunately, I gave it to Albert to try. I should almost could have shown here. It's the Chorus shifter. Still out of stock at this point. It's in pre-order. It's a very very interesting paddle. It's a hybrid shaped paddle. Probably a paddle that you would like because it has a massive sweet spot. Very low swing weight. I checked the swing weight; it was 107, so it was very low, very low. Tremendous amount of spin. So that and it looks very nice. It's like how they layer the carbon fibers. Like you can see, there's cube on the surface, kind of. So it's yeah, it is a very interesting. Like I first thought, I was like, maybe. Because Diadem, the Diamond Edge 18K is actually looks very similar, and I didn't really like that paddle, and I was like, that's why it was the Chorus shapeshifter was not into my radar at all. And then Corey was telling me, "Oh, try this. You're gonna like it," because he ordered one, and then I tried a couple of times. I was like, "Holy crap, that paddle is amazing!" I like because of the spin, because of the that thing sweet spot. You hit like on the edge, the ball still goes, no problem. It's so nice. So that's I'll actually really recommend people maybe check this out. They are actually probably going to make different shape, because currently they're just using the hybrid shape. They will be having like the fatter shape and the other shape. So there's people nowadays, a lot of people starting to use what we call the fat shape now, right now, because of people's now having worked into the net a lot more, and having your surface a little bit wider is actually very good at the net. Do you actually sacrifice the reach? Not really. I didn't feel that I sacrificed the reach as much. Maybe for singles, that's the only thing that I will say that paddle has a disadvantage. But in doubles, is actually really nice. So maybe your sponsor company, Anivia, maybe. Yeah, they should consider also making a shape this way, because I think it's getting a trend. The trend is moving towards that shape. Mm-hmm. And so if they can do something like that, it's going to be a fast sale.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, because I heard a bunch of people talking about the Fat Boy when I was at the Red Deer Open, and even at provincials and stuff. People were looking forward to it coming out. So
So I like it. It's became one of my main paddle right now. That I use. I have a couple more paddles actually coming up. We'll talk later. Couple. So another paddle unfortunately haven't tested. So Yola did have their replacement for the Gen 3. It's called the Mod TA50. According to my sources and the Discord channel, basically it's a less powerful Gen 3 with less greedy Gen 3 paddle. But if you used to the power of the Gen 3 and everything, it is a very similar paddle, and the look is more clean. It's basically just white edge guard, black, so which is much cleaner than they put all kind of weird colors on it on the Gen 3. So and we find out on the PPA Kansas, they're now making Yola's making models that's only UPAA approved. So the UPA, which is the United Pickleball Association, so those Yola paddle would be only approved to play on the UPAA, which is the MLP and the PPA, and they are not allowed to play on the USAP section tournament. So which is super weird.
Yeah. So realistically, they're only making it for the pros then.
Yeah,
so
and
what amateur's going to buy that?
Yeah, but the problem is, according to PPA, which is the UPAA, this year they're still gonna be fine, but they may be enforcing in 2025. Even the amateur that's playing on the PPA tournaments, you will need to be having paddles that is meeting the UPAA standard.
Yeah, but aren't their standards less than the regular USAP?
No, they're saying they. So what they got they actually have a new newsletter not long ago. Right now they cap, I think, the spin to be at 2,200 RPM. They cap the exit velocity. They cap like the deflection and stuff like that. So apparently they have now much more rigorous set guideline compared to the USAP. How they're gonna really enforce it properly, I don't know, because the problem is, I think it was MLP Washington DC or the PPA Washington DC. When they're trying to test every paddle on the site, they fail. Every paddle fail. Every pro paddle fail. And then they realized that what happened is they didn't calibrate the machine properly, and also the machine was not at the optimal testing area, so every paddle failed because of it. And then they just like, you know what, screw it, we're not gonna test it. So you're like, what?
Yeah.
So anyway,
as you hear that, that's when you see what's his name grease up his paddle, and it's like, hey, they're not testing right now.
Here you go. Well, we'll put some pine tar. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly right.
Let's go. And what's coming next? I do have 3 paddle lineup right now. The Spartus Olympus, not a very known, well-known companies. Spartus, which is the Apollo paddle, which is the same shape as this one. They have a new paddles called the Olympus, having a power core. From some of this Discord channel is like it's not Gen 3 power, but it's closer to Gen 3 power, but it's not there yet. It's kind of a hybrid shape, and the whole surface of the paddle is gold. So anyway, it looks nice. We'll see how it plays. I have the reload paddle. I don't know if you heard the reload. So the one that actually you can peel the sheet and then you have.
Oh yes, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
So I'll have that coming in, and the last one is the one the toughest paddle to buy. It's still in the market, the Proton Series A. So the one that Diasco has that pine tar on it.
Yeah, and also the Walker sisters both use.
Yes, but the Walkers are not using the Series A. Sorry, it's the Series 1. The Walkers are using the Series 3, which is the carbon fiber. I think they're changing now to the Series 4, which is a Kevlar.
Oh, okay. All right, we had some PPA and some MLP stuff come up.
Yeah, just a quick say on there. So during the week of the Red Deer Open, the PPA Kansas happened, okay, there's little surprise in there, but not so much a surprise. So for people that has followed PPA close enough, now you know the Johns does not make to the finals as often, right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
a lot of the
so
other men are starting to catch up to them now.
yeah, because a lot of people now able to either speed up at any places. So shout out to Gabe Tardio, which is a right-sided player. He beat JW and Dylan Fraser with Federico Starsgroup. That was their first partnership, and the reason why Gabe Tardio won and Starsgroup won is because usually the player on the right is not his main thing is not to speed up, right? The person that's on the right should be the one that's resetting, right? Gabe Tario can reset, and every ball that's going middle is he's flicking right into the chicken wing of Dylan Fraser.
Yeah.
So and that was new. No people was doing that before, and no, like people on the right are not speeding up that much unless you're like a lefty. Other than that, if you're a righty on the right, you're not speeding it up. He speed up very efficiently, and that make the difference. And they beat JW and Dylan like handily in three games. So because they're playing a 3-5 in finals, right? And so that was hell of a match. If you want to rewatch one of this match, that makes sense.
Yeah, that also might be you might see that as becoming the start of a trend where they make the person on the right attack more.
Mm-hmm. And it is a change of guard too. Like
yeah. Well, because the Johns were so good at with Colin literally just being the reset and setup guy. But like, if everyone knows that's your shtick and that you're not a threat, you know,
just to him, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like the fact that this guy was able to start making the right side way more of a threat, then it forces the team to have to play you different, right? Whereas before you could almost watch it like when you watched some of the matches, even if you go last year where it was the Johns versus pick whichever team you want. You see Ben is literally sitting there with his paddle up, and then you have the guy on the other side, whoever's playing left there with his paddle up, and then Colin is just going back and forth with the other guy until one of them makes a mistake, where it's like now it's like, okay, well, if all of a sudden Colin's like gonna chicken wing the guy, right? Now it's like, oh crap, now I gotta move over and play a little bit more defensive on that left. Like it basically by doing that, you force the other team to play more of a 50-50 game.
Yes, because when Gabe beat the Johns brothers, he was attacking Ben Johns from the right. He was pushing Johns from the right to force Ben to move to the left because Ben is moving so much to the right hand side. So Ben was getting caught multiple times because of it.
Yeah, and if you think about realistically as the game evolves, that realistically should be how you play it, is that each player covers 50-50 if you can get both players at the same level, right? Like, you shouldn't have like a right side like expert and a left side expert type of thing. Like yes, that's how the game started because certain people were stronger and stuff like that. But then as the game evolves, you're gonna have to be able to play both sides. As the game keeps evolving, because if you're literally only good on the right, then guess what? They're going to go middle towards your backhand. If you're only good on the left, they're going to go down the line towards your backhand and just force you out of your comfort zone. Whereas if you can play either side, no problem, you're way more of a threat and you're way harder to predict what you're going to do with the ball.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why I'm starting actually playing more right, to be honest with you. I'm starting to play more right and trying to be more aggressive from the right because people are not expecting. Like they know I'm an aggressive player, but still they don't expect me to be aggressive in the right.
Yeah. And if we want to do a quick call back to the Red Deer Open, I think that's where I caught a bunch of people off because like even though me and Irene were switching,
that would make sense actually.
Yeah, even though me and Irene are switching and playing 50-50, every match I was the starting server, so I'm serving all the even points and I'm playing the right. But then if you pop it up to me, and Victor knows this, I got that really good backhand flick.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm attacking people with the backhand towards their backhand. Right. So I think me and Irene doing that catches people off guard because you're not expecting me, even though I'm the right and I'm the male, You're not expecting me to drive it down baseline to your back end, or even drive it middle as much, right? So you're not expecting the drive from that angle. You're expecting the drive coming from the left. So
From the left, exactly.
yeah,
Agree.
so yeah. So next time I'm in Edmonton, Victor, we'll have to play, and then you can be on the right, I'll be on the left.
Sure, I'll be on the right.
And I'll still let you swing away. So
sure, no problem. We'll do that. We'll do that. And then women's, no surprise. The Waters and Parental won against Steam and Kawamoto. Nothing to say is Waters and Parental. No one's going to beat them. Mix Waters and Johns beat the Johnsons siblings, and that was very close match, 5 games. So they almost lost. So I would say the Johnson siblings is getting close to that. I think the main reason is not really Waters being weaker, is Ben John being weaker, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that feeling.
Yeah, and me just watching, because I don't watch as much, but I do watch some highlights. I've noticed that you're seeing a big surge in the men's skill level on the side. Like the women's are coming, but it's still such a big gap.
There's a still big gap, like between Annalie and the next bets, which is Catherine Perendo, and then the rest is still like
there's still a big gap there. Whereas with the men's now, like the Johns brothers,
everyone's pretty close now.
Yeah, the Johns brothers say are like here, and then everyone, like it used to be everyone was here. Now everyone's like right around here, and then some are even starting to equal them out, right? So it's that's why you're seeing them getting beat more often now, because it's not as big of a stretch to do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise anymore. Yeah, neither too, right?
Yeah.
Men's single
TV, so
no, it's exactly. You don't want the same guys win all the time. You want someone else to win, and which is nice. Finally, it's happening. Men's singles, Johns did not play, but anyway, Conor Garnett beat Tyson McGoffin. I will say yes, shout out to Conor Garnett, but shout out to Tyson McGoffin. He beat Federer's Statsgroup, he made it to the finals.
Oh,
like, no. That guy took a beating. Like we're a lot of people's like already counting Tyson out of the picture. Well, you know what? Tyson say, I'm back.
Yeah.
And it's congrats to him. And women's singles, Buttar won against Farhay. So if you don't know, Farhay is actually one of the MLP player that Anna Bright scouted in. So it was good that they're able to now starting to show Anna Bright is actually making right decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was so a little surprise, but not so big a surprise anyway in Kansas. Jumping into the MLP, I think they're starting to wind down to some of the last matches now. Who was in the first place is the St. Louis Shock, which is the Anna Bright team with Hannah Patriquin. Second place is the Dallas Flash, which is the Johnson's brother with Johnson's siblings, excuse me, and with Agiga also in that team. The third place currently is the Texas Rangers, which is the Christian Auchan, Quan Duong, Eda Wright, and Tina Pisnik. And the fourth place right now is New Jersey Fives, which is the Anthony Waters, Zane Evertil team. And then you're like, okay, where's Ben Johns? Well, they are pretty much at the bottom of standing. if you think about it, the Carolina Pickleball Club, they're not doing good. The Johns bro did not win a lot of matches that they're intended. Jesse Irvin and Andrea Coop was not playing as good as they should. They actually had traded Andrea Coop for Buckner to play for them, but still they wasn't getting enough result, because if you have heard not long ago, Colin someone leaked Colin letter. Did you saw that letter?
Was it Colin or Ben's letter?
That was Colin. It was Colin. It was definitely Colin.
Where they're complaining about the setup for the MLP or whatever.
Yeah. So just a quick story short. I'm not going to go through the whole letter. So Colin is just basically just ranting, saying, Ben is not having the best player playing with him because the team has to pay so much money, so they have no more money to get other players to back him up. And then he's saying, "Oh, the MLP format is just helping the weaker players to play to actually climb up the ladder." He's ranting about the rally scoring. He's ranting about the facility being this, and then ranting about the welcome ball. Like actually, he's just venting. He's venting his frustration. But it should be like a confidential text message. But for some reason, it just got leaked. Unfortunately, got leaked out, and then everyone's blaming him because at the same time, yeah, he was not performing well. Colin was not performing well at the same time. So it's just kind of like a bad timing, and it was like a bad leak also at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with most of what he complained about, but I will argue about the not having all the best players on the one team. That's the whole point of a team concept, is that
Exactly.
is like you're spreading it out. Like if you look at any like the one sport that's kind of messing that up right now is basketball, because you're having these players form these super teams, but even these super teams don't win every year. But like it's more entertaining if you say if we just go with five teams, say there's only 5 teams in this league, right? If you take the 5 male best players and stick each of them on one team and then go with the 5 next and do it that way, that's more entertaining than seeing the number 1 and number 2 guy play on the same team and then just destroy everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if Waters and Parento were on the same team.
Yeah, but that's why there's PPA for. PPA is for this.
Yeah. PPA is for if you want to have 1 and 2 play together, have 1 and 2 player. That's what PPA is for. MLP is for you have to be strategic with how you draft people. Exactly. Okay, am I gonna blow everything on the best player, but then maybe not have as strong of a male player? Do I think the best player is gonna have chemistry with this one and be able to pull him up enough that they're still a competitive team? Another good example is just looking at our very own CNPL.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Like there you go.
Like if you blow and unfortunately we'll use Toronto United with this. Like they wanted to keep their whole team from last year, right? And then find out after the draft that Hannah Blatt can't play. I can guarantee if they knew Hannah Blatt wasn't able to play before the draft, I probably would have only kept Matthew Quanamoto and then saved those other 2 draft spots to get another high female. Like even the Brewers did that. The Brewers originally had Nathan Choi signed. And then they decided not to sign him so they could draft high for their female player, because then they just kept Mark Clemenson, right? So it's one of those things is you got to be strategic, because if you're doing that draft and you're saying, okay, well, we're going to keep if we're going to keep these 2 good male players, but then you don't get a draft until like the 3rd round, all the really good female players, at least the top ones, might be gone by then. So then you're just like, okay, are these 2 guys going to be able to carry
the rest of
that team and then carry the team even in mixed, right? So it's like I like the idea of the strategicness with drafting and stuff that comes with those team style tournaments. And if team style and rally scoring isn't your thing, yeah, go play in like the regular style stuff at the PPA. But
exactly. Well, just look at currently at the MLP, the top 4 teams, they have almost like we call a balance lineup, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they're successful, because they have a balanced lineup. They have some stronger than the other, but they are like if you just look at their DUPR rating and their how their win-loss ratio, they're pretty consistent all across the board. Versus what Ben John's team, they're just one super strong male player and the others like so.
Yeah,
and then
that's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, exactly. It does not equal out, fortunately.
So, well, seeing how we mentioned CNPL, sticking with that, we do have a quick announcement because obviously this coming weekend is going to be the Western Split, which is going to be the final split before the championship weekend. The Pronghorns, they actually dropped Jeff Elwood and picked up Sonny Buttar for their team. Now he's going to be the 3rd male player. You can highly attribute this to how well Michael McCaffrey's been playing, because Jeff was drafted before him, but Michael's been playing out of his mind, and his chemistry with Brad Chapman has been very evident this year for the Pronghorns. So I think this is more so also this way Sonny also can train because with Michael in between, because he's from BC as well.
Yeah.
So just all the men then can kind of train together. So it's
well, shout out to Sonny Buttar. He was the one that won the men's pro in or 5-0 in Western Regionals.
Oh yes, yeah, I did see that. Yeah. So and Sonny was probably the highest, especially I know at the qualifiers that me and Irene went to. I think out of the guys who didn't get drafted, Sonny was the highest ranked male under Eugene.
Gotcha. It makes sense. He played like when I was refereeing his match in Western Regional, he was playing super strong on the right. He has a super strong right side player.
Yeah, and he also played a couple games last year in the CNPL as like a reserve player. I think he played a couple games for the Rush. Yeah, because he played for the Rush in the very first split last year because Nathan Choi couldn't make it. And then he played in the championship weekend. He played for the Montreal Lions because neither of their male players came. So he already has experience of playing in the CNPL as well. So that doesn't surprise me that Sonny got picked up. I feel bad for Jeff, but we kind of said on our last podcast, we saw Michael taking that starting spot from him just for how well Michael's been playing. So
that's true.
Yeah. And so yeah, with that, with the Sonny Buttar added to the Pronghorns, and then we had that trade a little while ago with the Wolverines and the Rush. My quick predictions for this Western split, if not predictions, how I would go about it. So if I'm the Rush, I'm basically would use this entire weekend coming up to just figure out chemistry. Right, because unless you go undefeated, you're not getting out of 8th spot.
Yeah, you're stuck right now.
Right, so like keep everyone healthy, figure out your combinations. Now that you got Jonas coming over, you have Sabrina coming over. Excuse me. So that's what I would do for them. I'd just make sure everyone stays healthy. Find your combinations. Don't really worry about the outcome because you already know you're going to play the first place team come championship weekend, right? The Rollers have Ryan Torrenson coming back, so I foresee them probably, unless another team really steps up, I foresee them taking that first spot back from Montreal.
Okay.
Because like the fact that they held that 5-5 with Ryan not there, like how well like the backup players played, right? And then Jessica Quanamoto's been playing out of her mind this entire season so far.
Yep.
And same with Casey. So like they're probably like we said earlier, they're probably the second best. It's between them and Christina Chin, Kim Layton for the best female pairing. So like if they keep doing their thing, and then you got Ryan coming back playing with Maddie, then I don't foresee the Rollers not jumping back out into that first place spot. Montreal's probably going to get second if they play the way they did at the last split, not the way they did at the first one, but the way they did at the second split, where they were using their whole bench and keeping everyone fresh. And then honestly, it's a toss up for everyone else. Everyone else is so close. It's just whoever has the best weekend as far as seeding goes. Because you have like a 10-8, a 10-9. And then an 8-10, 8-10, something like that.
Yeah, let's take a look. I did write it down not long ago.
No, we had it on.
Yeah, I got it somewhere here. 11-10.
Oh yeah, here we go. I got it here from one of our podcasts. So we have So the Lions are right now 13-6. The Rollers are 12-7. So there's only one win dividing the two of them. Right, so that's why I said with Ryan Torrenson coming back, I can see the Rollers leapfrogging them by the one game, right? And then you have the Brewers at 10-8, the Smash at 10-9, the Pronghorns at 10-9, and then the Wolverines and United both at 8-10. Right, so it's like between from 7 all the way to 3. Like it's basically whoever has the best weekend. Like you could literally see United jump from 7 to 3rd spot if they have a good weekend.
Yes.
Right. So it's just So it's pretty much 8th is decided, and then I can see the Lions and Rollers battling it out for 1 and 2. I will give the nod to the Rollers right now, just because I think they're the more complete team.
Mm-hmm.
And I
unless Ernesto plays out of his mind.
like if Ernesto, if he goes into God mode like he did in the previous split, I could see the Lions holding the Rollers off. But like if I'm going with like the all aroundness of how the Rollers have been playing, I would give the nod to the Rollers. And then, like I said, between the Brewers, Smash, Pronghorns, Wolverines, and United, honestly, like you could do a coin flip.
Because they're so close.
They're so close. Like the Wolverines will be interesting because, of course, you got Ava Weeks coming over and Joe Williamson. And I got to feel like it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with because I got a feeling you'll see Ava with Joelle, and then whether it's Natalie or Sarah who takes that second spot to team up with Haddo. And like I said, the funny thing is I think both Natalie and Sarah are lefties. I think, if I remember correctly. So that'll also be interesting on the women's side. Because are you going to go both forehands in the middle, or are you going to go? I'm assuming you're going to go both forehands in the middle then. So, but you're going to
you want 2 forehands in the middle rather than just one over the others, because it will look weird.
Yeah. But Ava normally is a stronger right side player. At least right now she is.
She is.
Right. So that's where it becomes interesting.
But she can play left. I think when
she can play left. Like when she plays with Shay, she plays
left.
Yeah,
she plays with Shay, she plays left. So
but like
she can play left easy.
But like when she's playing with Shay, they're only playing 4-0.
True.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how she adjusts. And then when she played her games for the Rush, she was playing the right.
Yeah.
She was playing with with one of the 2 stronger females, right? So it'll be interesting to see if she's going to take that strong female spot, or if they're going to put her over. But then you got 2 backhands in the middle, so I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah,
so we'll see. I know she's been training a crap ton with Joelle, so like I wouldn't be surprised if they were working on that for that specific reason. So
yeah, she's improving, and she has tons of room for improvement. So
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, and then like even with Sonny coming to the Pronghorns, like we said, he's going to be the sub.
Yeah, he's not going to be the main, right?
Yeah, he's not going to be the main, but it'll be a good surge to put in to give like Brad and Michael a break. The Smash, if they keep rolling like they did the previous one, you'll see
as long as Kim and Christina is healthy, I think they will make a good run.
Yeah. And then they use Darren appropriately to give Nathan and Dalmir
some break, because they can get tired really quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, you have to play so many matches.
Oh no, yeah. Well, and as for those of you who are listening, you could hear that there was a couple teams that seemed like they played more games than others. It's because they did at the last split. So there's a couple teams that are going to be playing 10 games instead of 9. Some teams played 10 last time, some teams only played 9. So like so like the teams that are like, for example, the Brewers are 10-8 and the Smash are 10-9. It's because the Brewers played 1 less game. So the Brewers are going to be playing 10 games.
So they got to play more this time.
Yeah,
you compensate basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to watching it. Me and Victor will do the same thing what we did last time, where we take 4 teams each and watch it that way, just so our brains don't melt.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, oh my god, what am I playing?
Like we said, that first split when we said, oh, let's just watch everything. I know I like was mixing matches up. As I started talking about them, I was like, wait, was this team and this team, or was it this team and this other team? Like matches started blending together for me. So it was just like,
I think we have a better system this time. Just 4 and 4. Okay,
yeah,
very good.
4 and 4, and we just go from there. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, like the Rush are pretty much 8th, so it's basically figure your stuff out, keep everything healthy. So then when you have to play either the Lions or the Rollers at the start at championship weekend, you have your team set and you're good to go, and at least you can give like a really good fight. And it's not like you can't have the 8th team beat the first place team. We had that happen last year. So
exactly. You can preserve energy too. Well, if you're
Yeah.
like looking at it, you're like, I'm not never gonna get to the seventh place. Then just preserve energy and then just study the number one or number two team.
Yep. Yes. And that's why I was saying, yeah, just study them, kind of roll the lines out,
Mm-hmm.
kind of figure out your your matchups, and then go from there. But everyone else, like from 3 to 7,
It's a toss up.
that is gonna be such a mosh pit. So it's just like, okay. And
Anyone
and
can go to
even though
number.
we're saying Lions and Rollers at 1 and 2, like they're not that far away from everybody. Like
Yeah, but
the Lions
still,
have,
I wouldn't expect them to be lower than one.
yeah,
and
they'd have to have like a not as good of weekend for one of the 3 to 7 teams to actually jump.
Yeah, they have to be at least like maybe a 3-7 or
Yeah.
or 3-6 in order to actually
I
have.
think, yeah, because even if they go a 5,
them.
yeah, even if they go a 5-5 on the weekend, I still don't think you can't, like,
Yeah,
if the Rollers go
can't
5,
dethrone them.
yeah, if the Rollers go 5-5, that puts them at what, 17 and 13 or 17 and 12.
Yeah,
Right. So like that means, for example, if the Brewers want to hop them, they have to go 7 and 3.
yeah, which
No,
is
sorry, that's to tie them. They would have to go 7
to
and 2.
tie them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Which
right.
is great.
So yeah, so that's why we're saying it's the Lions and the Rollers kind of jockeying for first and second, and then 3 to 7 are fighting for standing,
Mhm.
and then we have the Rush at 8. And so, like we said, the Rush, keep the whole team healthy, figure out your combinations, and then just get ready for championship weekend.
Mhm.
Like that, the team with the least amount of pressure is the Rush.
Exactly. You can
Like
throw whatever you want.
go in,
Doesn't
have
matter.
fun. Go in, have fun, work out your kinks, and just and go at it from that. You've already got 3 wins, so you're already not going to be the worst team to ever be in the CNPL,
Is
right?
what
So you're already past the worst losing record. So
anyway, what's your upcoming tournament? Are you done this year?
I think I'm pretty much done. I can't get time off for the St. Albert's one coming up because that's the same weekend as the Western Split, isn't it? It's this weekend coming, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's probably raining too. It's not looking good. The forecast is not looking good right now.
Yuck. So yeah, I'm working, so I can't make that one. I don't have enough money. We need more sponsors. So anyone interested in sponsoring, me and Victor have no problem shouting you out on the podcast. But
Oh yeah,
the only way I'm going to be able to go to Halifax. So Victor could go to Halifax now because now he's got his reffing thing.
I couldn't come this weekend because next weekend it's the Nationals in Halifax. Unfortunately, military had me has stuff hang up, so I couldn't go. But I would wish to be able to go to Halifax, especially now I'm a certified ref. I got the first dip, right? Yeah, well, going to these bigger matches. So next year definitely I'm going to the national, and yes, my trip will be paid.
Yeah, exactly. So
or maybe Andrew just had to become a certified ref.
No, I did refereeing for basketball for a few years, and I've had my fill of reffing. I'm good. There's a reason why I don't give you guys any lip because I know what it's like. So
Thank you. But it's different too. When you see me reffing, I'm a different guy.
You're still pretty much you.
We'll
Someone who's had you ref me before I did.
That's true. That's true. Anyway.
You're just less laughing at me and more so just stern. No, that was a foot fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
true.
speaking of foot faults, holy crap, was there a lot this weekend? Last weekend in Red Deer.
Oh man,
I saw so many. Irene even got one. I was just like, Irene, you like never get one, and she even got one. I was like, holy crap!
Actually, even during Red Deer, I was able. I called, I think, 3 carries.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah,
yeah. So those are kind of interesting call because of like a lot of players still kind of because that's a new rule this year. A lot of people are still hesitating to call this this fault. But as a certified ref, you should know what's a carry. I'll just reiterate in here because we have actually a discussion yesterday when I was playing with some of our guys. So what's the difference between a carry and a double hit is when a double hit means yes, you hear 2 sound tuck tuck, but the ball goes the same direction. Let's say like I have a paddle. Let's get my ball. Okay. So let's say I'm coming to hit that ball, but I just kind of don't see that the ball's still going to the same direction, right?
Yeah.
That's not a carry. What is a carry? So just for people just on YouTube, you would definitely see it. A carry, compared to this, is I'm going this, but I did duck. See that the ball changed direction?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that becomes a carry. That's not a double hit, because
Yeah,
now
basically almost looks
the
like
ball is going
like
here, but you
cross
change
throw.
the direction of the ball. That becomes a carry, and
Yeah.
that's a fault.
Yeah. And then for those of you who aren't even sure from that, imagine a lacrosse throw from like a lacrosse stick. It kind of resembles that when you see a carry. It almost looks like the ball. It almost looks like the ball gets hooked onto the paddle and the person whips it at you instead of actually hitting it at you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a carry, and as a referee, if you playing the referees or a sanction match, they empowered to call that fault.
Nice. So yeah, so we got I can't make St. Albert because of work and I won't make it to the Western split, but I'm hoping to get off for the finals, which are going to be in Edmonton at the end of the month.
I'll be here. Can you let them know to get us on there?
Oh yeah, we'll message. I don't think it'll be an issue. You will probably
Message
let us
you like that. Get us
Hey,
in
me
there.
and Victor are both going to be there. Can you just like give us credentials?
Exactly. We'll do whatever commentating that you want.
Yeah, we'll commentate. We'll stand there. I'll bring a tripod. We'll set up my camera. We'll do a live podcast from there. I don't.
You want me to do push up at the center of goal? I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly right. Speaking of which, we've gotten. I want to give a big shout out to all of the people who just kind of said hi to me at the tournament and also commented on the podcast. We had a bunch of like amateur players. We had a couple of the pro players come up and say hi and comment on the podcast. So we really appreciate it. I know.
Thank you guys. And
a big thank you to I'll shout out big thank you to Joel Pelche. He's also said he's willing to come on the podcast, Vic. So we gotta figure that
be fun.
Well, because that'll just be awesome. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that CNPL finals. I'm pretty sure if I can't get both days off, I'll at least be able to get the championship Sunday off for it. Okay. So I'm making sure I'm down for that.
I'll be free. It's a long weekend, so I'm free. I'll be there.
Yeah. The long weekends with rig work, or as people know, I do the pipeline inspection. It's I've worked the last 3 stats, so it's extra pay. So yay that way, but also it's like
True.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. All right.
And anything else you want to add, Andrew?
I think that's everything. Oh wait, we forgot to talk about the MLP and PPA coming to Toronto in September.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a massive news actually. Right, they're actually coming next year in September. Because they're the UPA, which is the MLP and the PPA, is planning to do an international tour. So they not only want to come to Canada, they will go to Europe. They're gonna go to Asia. They're gonna go across the world to promote the tour. How many pros will be coming? I don't know yet. But at least Canada, I think I would expect a good amount of pro will be able to come because it's so close to the border. They will be doing it in conjunction with the CPA. So that will be interesting. We'll be able to maybe see the CPA pros hit up against the PPA, and then maybe see, okay, how far are we from Canada to the US level pros.
Yeah. Well, I would love to see, like, say a combination of like Kim and Christina versus like name any of the pairing. Maybe not Waters and Parento, but
I was about to say Waters.
We won't throw them to the Wolves that quickly, but like even like any of like the top 15 teams.
Maybe Anna Bright and Anna Bright and who was the other? Rachel Rothbacher, maybe.
Yeah, like something like that. I would just love to see how they stack up. Like even if like say none of them win something, but if like one of like our CPA pros teams can like finish like say even top 10, top 15.
Mhm.
That's considered a huge accomplishment because we're literally like, if you want to say it, we're literally considered like the CFL compared to the NFL.
True, I agree.
Right? It's kind of how people look at our Canada pros right now.
Hmm.
So yeah, so like I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to see how our CPA players will do. So
No, I think it's a good thing. That's the only way you can grow the tour is go international and do multiple event internationally. That's the only way.
yeah, exactly. Well, then yeah, and just by doing an international tour, then you open it up for like that's what you want to do for say like getting into the Olympics.
Hmm.
And to call back to previous podcasts where we were comparing the beach volleyball thing, that's what beach volleyball does. They go on a world tour, and it's those same teams play each other, and then they just compete against each other in the Olympics, right? So it's
Yeah, that's what needs to be done, and
Yep.
there's no magic formulas, right? It's just
no, yeah, it's yeah, just find out what works, get the rating things sorted out, get the line things sorted out, and then we're pretty much good to go.
oh yeah.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the podcast for this one. We will be having another one right away next week because we'll be recapping the Western split of the CNPL.
Oh yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And then probably once that one's done and we find out who's playing who, we'll probably at the end of that podcast do our quick predictions of who's going to take at least the first round.
Hmm.
Maybe we won't go so crazy as who we think is going to win the whole thing, but maybe who we think is at least going to get out of the first round of that bracket once that gets set.
Well, we could do it. It's fine. We just
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for funsies, and then just like NCAA March Madness, my bracket will blow up right after the first round. So because there will be an upset in there somewhere.
Should we put something on the line like a beer or a dinner or something like that?
Yeah, how about we? Well, yeah, let's do dinner or something, or like, well, even if we don't want to go hardcore dinner, we can do like a burger or something. Like,
Sure. I'll bring you to the keg.
there you go. Yeah, well, and seeing how we'll both be there hopefully we'll both be there for championship week, and we can even do it like that. That'll be like the after party.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and the other person has to buy the other one's meal. There we go.
All
right, so you heard it here first. Me and Victor are putting dinner on the line for CNPL Championship weekend.
There you go.
All right, okay. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone. We will see you guys next week with the recap of the Western Split.
Yes, yeah, all. Thank you.